The political and legal drama surrounding former Kaduna State Governor Nasir El-Rufai has taken a dramatic turn, with explosive allegations, counter-allegations, court battles, and a growing national debate about rule of law, abuse of power, and fundamental human rights. So what exactly is happening? What are the facts? What are the legal issues? And what could this mean for Nigeria's political landscape? Let's break it all down carefully so you can understand the full picture. And as we go along, I want to ask you some important questions. Do you believe anti-corruption agencies should have sweeping powers to investigate former public officials? Or do you think such powers can easily be abused? Drop your thoughts in the comment section. The controversy began when the Independent Corrupt Practices and Other Related Offences Commission, ICPC, announced that it had recovered what it described as electronic magnetic equipment capable of tapping conversations from El-Rufai's Abuja residence. Not just that, according to court documents reportedly filed before the Federal High Court in Abuja, the commission also claimed it retrieved sensitive security documents capable of compromising national security. That is a very serious allegation. Think about it for a moment. If a former governor was indeed found with equipment capable of intercepting private conversations and documents affecting national security, what does that suggest? Who was being monitored? For what purpose? And under what authority? The ICPC also claimed that El-Rufai had previously admitted on national television that he tapped conversations of the National Security Advisor, Nuhuri Badu. That detail adds another layer of complexity. If true, it could indicate a deeper intelligence or surveillance issue that stretches back years. But here's the twist. El-Rufai's family says none of this is true. In a strongly worded statement issued by his son, Mohammed Bello El-Rufai, a serving member of the House of Representatives, the family described the ICPC's claims as falsehoods and part of a malicious smear campaign. They insisted that no sophisticated surveillance or wiretapping equipment was found during the search. According to them, the only items seized were old discarded mobile phones, flash drives, laptops, and storage devices. In other words, items you might find in almost any modern household. So now we have two completely different narratives. The ICPC says it found equipment capable of tapping conversations and compromising national security. The family says only normal personal electronics were taken. Who should the public believe? Should we automatically trust anti-corruption agencies, or should we demand independent verification before accepting such explosive claims? Let's continue. Another key issue in this story is detention. The ICPC obtained a 14-day detention order from a magistrate court in Buari, Abuja. That order, according to reports, was set to expire on Thursday. Now, under Nigerian law, security agencies can detain a suspect beyond 48 hours if they obtain a valid court order. So legally speaking, if the order exists and was properly issued, the detention may be lawful. A legal analyst from the University of Hull, Dr. Mesbah Latif, explained that it may be premature for a court to dismiss evidence obtained by investigators at this stage. He suggested that if the ICPC followed proper procedure, meaning they had both a detention order and a search warrant, it may be difficult for El-Rufai's fundamental rights case to succeed. But here's where it gets interesting. El-Rufai has filed a 1 billion naira fundamental rights enforcement suit, arguing that his arrest and detention violated his constitutional rights. He wants the court to declare his detention unlawful, rule that the search of his residence was illegal, and award him 1 billion naira in damages. Now, let me ask you, if you were detained and believed the warrant used to search your home was defective, would you fight it in court, or would you simply wait for charges? This is not just a legal issue, it's also about public perception and political messaging. At a recent sitting at the Federal High Court in Maitama, Abuja, Justice Joyce Obehi Abdul Malik refused to entertain El-Rufai's bail application, calling it premature. The court adjourned the matter until April 23, 2026 for proper arraignment. That decision alone raises questions. Why was the bail application considered premature? Was El-Rufai formally arraigned? If not, does that mean charges have not yet been officially read in open court? Legal experts say that in criminal proceedings, bail is typically considered after arraignment when charges are formally presented. So is this simply a matter of procedural timing, or does it suggest delays in formal prosecution? Let me know what you think in the comments. And if you're finding this breakdown helpful so far, please take a moment to like this video and subscribe to the channel. It helps us continue bringing you detailed, balanced analysis on major national issues. Another explosive aspect of this case involves the search warrant itself. El-Rufai's legal team claims the warrant was defective and fraudulently procured. They argue that it lacked specificity and contained material errors. In legal terms, a search warrant must clearly state the premises to be searched, the items being sought, and the legal basis for the search. If any of these are missing or incorrectly described, a court may declare the search unlawful. The family says they have already challenged the warrant in court. Now, here's a big question. If the warrant is later ruled invalid, what happens to the evidence allegedly recovered? Under legal principles, evidence obtained through an unlawful search can sometimes be excluded from trial. That could significantly weaken the prosecution's case, but that decision is entirely up to the court. The ICPC also alleged that El-Rufai threatened likely prosecution witnesses and that one witness had formally written to the commission seeking protection. This is a serious claim. Witness intimidation, if proven, could complicate bail considerations and even lead to additional charges. However, as of now, these remain allegations contained in court filings. And remember, in law, allegations are not convictions. Do you think public figures should face stricter standards when accused of influencing witnesses, or should they be presumed innocent like any other citizen? El-Rufai's camp has also raised concerns about his treatment in custody. There were allegations that he suffered a nosebleed while detained and was denied direct access to meals brought by family members. Detention conditions often become political flashpoints in high-profile cases. Should former public officials receive special treatment while in custody, or should they be treated exactly like any other detainee? Let's talk about it in the comments. And don't forget to share this video with others who are following this story closely. The more people understand the legal facts, the healthier our public debate becomes. We cannot ignore the broader political context. El-Rufai is a former governor of Kaduna State and a prominent political figure. Any investigation involving him will naturally attract national attention. Some supporters see this as accountability in action, proof that no one is above the law. Others see it as political persecution or a calculated smear campaign. So what's really going on? Is this purely an anti-corruption investigation based on credible intelligence, or is it part of a deeper political struggle within Nigeria's power structure? Until the courts examine the evidence, the public is left with competing narratives.
What happens next? Several key things could happen. 1. The court could validate the search warrant and detention, strengthening the ICPC's position. 2. The court could rule the warrant defective, potentially weakening the case. 3. Formal charges could be filed, leading to full criminal proceedings. 4. The fundamental rights suit could either be dismissed or upheld. Each of these outcomes would have major implications, not just for El-Rufai, but for the credibility of Nigeria's anti-corruption framework. At its heart, this story is about three powerful themes: rule of law, accountability, and fundamental human rights. The ICPC insists it followed legal proceedings. El-Rufai's family insists this is defamation and harassment. The courts will ultimately decide. But here's the most important question of all. Do you believe Nigeria's institutions are strong enough to handle politically sensitive cases fairly and transparently? Let your voice be heard in the comments. And before you go, like this video if you believe in rule of law and due process. Subscribe to the channel for in-depth political and legal analysis. Turn on notifications so you don't miss updates as this case develops. This story is far from over, and we will continue to follow every twist and turn. Stay informed, stay engaged, and most importantly, stay involved in the conversation.